Hello and welcome back to Blackwatch Intel. My name is Crashy, and I just sat down and watched the newest developer update coming out from Big Daddy Jeff. And there's a lot to unpack, a lot of things I want to talk about, but essentially this developer update was talking about balance, giving us some insight on where they want to go, what they're thinking about a few heroes, and I kind of want to unpack that and give my thoughts here right now. So a couple of big ones. He talked about Hanzo, he talked about Scatter Arrow, the potential to get rid of Scatter, the potential to retune it, and ultimately it doesn't sound like any changes for Hanzo are coming anytime soon. It doesn't seem like they have any direction that they're going with it, but I think everybody knows that Hanzo needs a change. The developers definitely know that Hanzo needs a change, but it's not as simple as just nerfing the Scatter, because if you nerf the Scatter, in my opinion, he's absolutely useless in that point. So I think they're looking to rework him. I think that means different damage numbers, different projectile speed numbers, different ability potentially, and all in all, I am, as a projectile player, I really want to see Hanzo in a good place. I want to see Hanzo in a position where I want to play him, and not just because he's fun, because I do play him because he's fun, but I don't play him because he's bad, in my opinion. So, or just very niche in a way, I guess you could say. So looking forward to the future of Hanzo, one that I'm really excited about was Jeff talking about potential changes for Mei. And Mei, and I've said this before, Mei is one of those heroes that you can't do a whole lot to. If you do big changes for Mei, she's going to be broken and everybody's going to play her. She's going to be that off DPS that plays for projectile but does so much because whatever they change on her would be broken, potentially. So I know that they want to increase Mei's abilities a bit, and I'm interested to see what they decide to do, because I had a couple ideas for Mei. I'd be excited to see what their ideas are for Mei, what direction they want to take the character, and just in general how you add more to that character when she really does, right now at least, sit in a very comfortable niche as kind of like a stall hero, as a very defensive hero. She's got the self-healing, she has the wall, and a really strong ultimate, so she's not a bad hero by any means. One hero that they did not talk about is Reaper, and I'm actually hopefully going to be talking about Reaper in a video coming up soon. I'm really surprised he didn't bring up anything about Reaper, but he did touch on Symetra, and this point was particularly interesting to me because he goes on this train talking about, and he's basically told us this before, that the game is meant to be swapped. Heroes are meant to be swapped in the game, and he doesn't think that even if they make changes, even if they add abilities, or not abilities, but if they add the potential for Symetra to be better and more usable in situations, he doesn't think that Symetra's pick rate's going to go up very much, and he doesn't think that Symetra should be used in a lot of scenarios. And so in a way, I hate how contradictory allowing one-tricking is and saying things like this, but that's not really the topic at hand. Obviously, everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of one-tricking, but I do kind of think it's weird. Obviously, even I've made a video, like I said yesterday, talking about how Symetra basically has no application in the game right now, with all the throughput healing that's in the game, with how quick, compositions like dive comp are. Symetra is just in a really weird spot. I've had some ideas for her. I even thought of another one today where, what if Symetra never had cooldowns for her turrets? What if when it dies, she has 6 readily available at all times, so if one dies, she can just put out another one. I think that would actually help her quite a bit in a way, but overall, I think it's true. I think Symetra is definitely right now, especially if you're looking at the Overwatch League, the most useless character in the game. She does nothing. She has no niche that is good enough to run her, and the niche that she does fill, she's not good enough in, and that's, first point defense holds like, Hanamura, 2 CP maps, or hybrid maps, where you can really hold that first section and that first point. She's not even good enough to run there, so definitely excited to see what they decide to do with her. And, him talking about Junkrat, I think he's pretty spot on. I think it makes a lot of sense. Junkrat's really not crazy OP. He is definitely OP because he can one-shot people. It feels crazy, it feels lucky, it feels fast. And I think these changes for Junkrat are either really good, perfect, we'll have to wait and see, or they're really not that far off. So Junkrat, I'm excited for the future of Junkrat, as I don't want him to be as broken as he is now, but I don't really think he's that far off. And for Mercy, he basically said exactly what I said in a video recently. They're gonna nerf Mercy into the ground because it's necessary right now, but when they start looking at what the changes are in the game, with the meta, with how the pros are playing, with how the community's responding, the statistics, and all the data of how Mercy's being played post-nerf, they're gonna slowly walk her up. And that's important to know, because as a Mercy player right now, I think if you're a very smart Mercy player and you're objective and you understand the fact that she's very overpowered, you're fine with these changes. But at the same time, even me, I'm one of the biggest Mercy haters right now. Even I'm saying, yo, these changes are gonna really hurt Mercy. So they will walk her up, and I think that's a very good strategy as a development team. So overall, this video was really good. I mean, it kind of shows us that they're constantly working, they're constantly wanting to make changes and wanting to improve some heroes like Hanzo, like, you know, Mei, like Symetra, and that's great. That's really, really good for the game, because these are the heroes that are more niche, that don't see much play, that don't really have a lot of application. And then on the flip side of that, you have him kind of explaining where they're at with Mercy and why they're doing what they're doing. I love it. I think Jeff is spot on with his thoughts. I love the way that he explained kind of how they balance around the triangle and the 3 points that they kind of focus on. All in all, my biggest thought, and it's something that I've said recently, is that I just really want the Overwatch team and Blizzard to be a little bit faster about the really important balance changes. If the Junkrat changes didn't go live for a little bit longer, that's no big deal. But we've had a very overpowered version of Mercy since the rework, which was what, like 2-3 months ago now, something like that. And it just doesn't feel like, for me, I feel like I've lost a little bit of confidence in their conviction with developing or their ability to manage and balance certain heroes and certain aspects of the game. And I don't want to feel that way. And I really don't feel that way, but it does kind of feel bad when you're stuck in this hard meta like this, where it's just so set in stone because of the current state of Mercy. So all in all, I'm excited about the future of the game. I'm always excited about the future of the game. There's a certain word that I use when talking about Overwatch, and it's the word evolution. I think this is just yet again another evolution of Overwatch. I think it's another evolution of the Overwatch dev team learning and getting better and wanting to be more transparent and giving us more information about how things are working with inside the Overwatch team in terms of balance. So kudos to them. I'm super excited. I appreciate you for checking out this video. Please do not leave without leaving a like and subscribe for future content. I appreciate it again, and I'll see you on the next video.
Does the beat take you over? You just